Alright, hey, what's up? I'm Dan and I just noticed how terrible my hair looks. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Give me 1 second. See what this looks like. Oh, great. Yeah, now you see my forehead, you see my receding hairline. This is great. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm Dan, and just like every teenager, I'm getting a bit bored. School is out, and every day has just been waking up, playing video games, and then maybe some eating and sleeping in there. And to be honest, I don't want my summer to just be that. I figured, alright, let's spice every day up. Luckily, I do have a 3D printer which I recently repaired, and I figured, oh cool, now that I have a 3D printer in my room and infinite time on my hands because of quarantine, why don't I just print some things? So one of the first things I printed was a spring, and surprisingly this is printed in PLA and it retains its shape pretty well. You can compress in and out, it's not wearing out too easily, and it actually has a good amount of force to it. And I thought to myself, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Can I make it a toy or make it something more practical? So what was next was making a little piston. So basically it's the same thing as this spring over here, but it's just a little longer, and you've got a little rod in the middle and you can compress it fully and retract it out. It's pretty fun to play around with. Do all sorts of things, and I don't know, try and treat it like a hacky sack, but I mean, in my experience that didn't work too well. So then I thought to myself, well, I do have this piston here, can I make it a little bit more practical? So then I realized, oh yeah, Nerf guns use springs. So I made this. I 3D printed a gun.
FBI, open up!
Wait, no. It's a toy gun. It's a toy gun. No. It's not a real gun. It's not a real gun. It's not a real gun. The toy gun works by taking this spring, isolating it inside a little tube in there, and having some locking mechanism in the back and a little barrel to shoot these little yellow foam balls. Here's the gun. It's already loaded. Already has a little foam ball in there. All we're gonna do is just go ahead and aim right at the target, and are you kidding me? What? Got up to here. That's like this far away. This is disappointing. I mean, this was a stupid idea anyways. I mean, it's already been done before. I mean, this guy, he went ahead and made a 3D printed gun that actually looks like a Nerf gun. I mean, this guy did it and it was able to shoot soda cans. I need to make it stronger. I need to make it stronger. That's what I need to do. This gun's weak. It's small. So in physics, there's this little equation, right, for calculating the energy of a spring. I mean, it's fairly easy stuff. I could try and increase that K coefficient by decreasing the number of turns in the spring. I could try and increase the density of the material, make it a little bit more, or maybe I just make it longer. Now, we want to make this stronger, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and make the spring longer. So, I mean, it's not going to be much, just a little bit longer, you know, maybe 1 or 2 more springs. So basically it's the same file as before. Ignore the giant wheel on the back and ignore the fact that it got shifted down. I don't know why that happened. But anyways, we have the gun here in the back, and all we're just going to do is click this button and oh, there we go. Now we have a really, really long gun with many springs inside. And to be honest, CAD really is that easy. All you have to do is click a button and everything works out, right? What's going on is the same thing as before, except instead of a giant plastic rod running all the way down the barrel, we're going to use a string that's attached to this ratchet wheel in the back, and runs all the way down these interlinking springs. So let's go ahead and print it. Let's see what it looks like, see how it works, and hope it's actually able to reach that whiteboard. So it's been a couple of days and I finally learned about ISO, so hopefully the grain you saw before is somewhat reduced. I don't know, I'm still learning about cameras. But either way, we left off with this stupid little tiny weak dumb gun, and it doesn't go that far, doesn't even hurt when you shoot it. And I showed you the CAD design for, well, the longer gun, and finally it's put all together, and hold on. There we go. We have a string in the back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap it around this wheel here, and just gonna pull it back. It locks up. We're gonna take the same foam ball Just slot it right in through the top and hope for the best. What? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. It didn't go all the way. It locked up. I think I'm gonna have to try a different test. Okay, so what you see now is me outside looking like an idiot testing both guns. I'm firing them from nose height, and as you can see, the longer gun is either as strong or, in fact, a lot weaker than the smaller gun. As you saw in the video, the longer gun was not as powerful as the first. And if anything, it was weaker. And I think, and I've given this some thought, and I have two ideas as to why that's the case. The idea is to have a sudden change in the surface area between the end of the spring here and the barrel, so that air gets suddenly forced out of this end and launches a foam ball into the air. I thought to myself, oh well, maybe this one physics equation for spring will fix all of my problems and will make the gun more powerful. So I kept the ratio the same between the length of the spring, and the barrel. So if we look at the longer gun, you'll see we have spring running all the way down here and stopping there. If I shift it down more, you see we have this gap. Now when you have a gap like this, what I think might be happening is that it's interacting with other air particles. It's maybe hitting the inside of this wall here, hitting back. Air particles are interacting with each other, and this gap gives time for those particles to slow down and not have as much pressure going out of the barrel and into the ball. Another thing is that right here, the only friction between pulling the trigger and launch is the little interaction between this puller, you could say, and the vertical trigger mechanism there. And it causes very minimal friction relative to a wheel that's interacting once with the trigger here, but many times with this back support. Now I've added lubrication to try and smooth things out as much as possible, but it might be that that friction is enough to slow the process. With that in mind, I figured, okay, let's go ahead and get rid of that gap. As a matter of fact, let's not rely solely on air compression. Let's also rely on some physical interaction. So when I'm printing over here, what you might have been hearing in the background is basically that last spring in the longer tube. But what I have at the bottom, and you can't see because of the supports, is a little loft where there's a pointed surface and it points directly into the foam ball. So now we're going to finally test that newer, longer gun with those improvements. Just for reference, I'm going to fire the small one first and then move on to the larger one. So sitting in my chair, I fully extend my arm, aim for the board, and it doesn't even reach. I have my arm fully extended and that was so much better. Oh my god. It actually bounced all the way back to my chair. It touches the board and rolls back. Oh, I'm gonna have some fun with this. You know, come to think of it, a lot of people think small pistols are really cool. After this, I beg to differ. I mean, look at James Bond. Look at his little dumb pistol thing. I mean, he looks small with that. But with a long pistol, now that's intimidating. Indiana Jones, you think he's badass, just bringing it out of his pocket, shooting some random guy? No, he's using a tiny pistol. Now imagine him using a long-ass gun like this, and now we've got a badass. Alright, so that's the end of the video. As you can tell, this is the first one that I'm making, and I surely hope to improve. And I'm thinking of having it be a another one of those funny, haha, dumb engineering, dumb robot type channel. Any advice that you have, please leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely read it. You know what, I just forgot. I want to see what my hair looks like after all of this, so let's just see how it looks. Oh my god. Hey, you ever seen Nigel from Rio, that bird? Ever seen Andrew Jackson? Oh my god. I look like our 7th president. What's up? It's Concussion T. Simpson here. Man, that hurts.